Valmiki takes into his attention each and every job, each and every community that has been classified based on the job. In that one named Kavya, that one name is Rama's Gunas. Here, why should he mention each and every community? Each and every community of the Ayodhya, of Ayodhya who are following Bharata. He has no need to mention that. Why is he mentioning all these jobs? That is because he wants to mention everything, because he wants to also show that Rama has been, even though he is from the warriors clan, he is from the Raja, he has also been working with all of the communities that have been mentioned. Um, that is why all these communities are happily following Bharata to bring back Rama. सदैकपत्नी व्रतमप्रमेयं शिष्टं सदाचारयुतं प्रशान्तम् असद्वचोस्पृष्टममर्त्यसेव्यं कथासरो रक्षकमाश्रयामः या रामनाम्नि मनसा वचसा चलीना पुष्पे यथा भ्रमरिका सततं निमग्ना चेतोमुखी चितिगतां रघुपुङ्गवस्य तां मैथिलीं मम गुरुं शरणं प्रपद्ये करामलकवद्येन भावार्थो दर्शितश्रुतेः श्रुत्यैव राघवप्रेम्णा तं श्रीरङ्गार्यम् आश्रये. Sitaram. So today, the next topic is different communities in Bharata's journey. So today, uh, the lecture is going to be classified into three parts. First, how is it in Ramayana, pre-Ramayana and post-Ramayana. So coming back, here we see different communities in Bharata's journey. I would like to stick with my topic, but still for a small deviation I'm going out. The topic is only communities, but we also see that we heard today that Veda does not have any prejudices regarding any communities. And then we were about to see how Ramayana is tomorrow in Anna's lecture. But I would like to take the same topic so that we would get a connection between the slokas I'm going to refer. So here, uh, not only against communities, Ramayana does not have prejudices. We also see that there's no prejudice that human race is the best among the races. Humans are the best among the beings which live. We see that notion in today's world. We do not see the same notion in Ramayana. And what what does that mean? That means that humans and other living beings are still living beings, and therefore they're equal. There's no difference between the human beings and other beings, because everything's beings. Okay. So and then the other living beings, like, if for an example, we do not see that human race is superior, so we can take comparisons from anywhere and everywhere. We all know the shloka, Varaha Rudhirabhena Shuchina cha Sugandhina. The sandalwood, Rama is in the unjal, he's swinging. Sita is applying the sandalwood, which is in the color of a pig's blood. So all these comparisons will be able to come only if the Rishi, if Valmiki has no prejudices amongst the human races and other races. So we see that in Ramayana, in many places of Ramayana, not only this place. We could take number of examples from Ramayana to tell that there's no being prejudices in Ramayana. So, coming back to the topic, different communities in Bharata's journey. So, this is in 83rd Sarga of Ayodhya Kanda. So, here, 83rd Sarga of Ayodhya Kanda, in English, Appa has translated the Sarga's name as the Sanskrit name given to the chapter is Bharata Yatra. But while translating, Appa has given that Rama belongs to all classes. Rama belongs to all classes because all classes are enthusiastic to go, enthusiastic to come with Bharata to Chitrakuta to bring back Rama. So Rama is not constrained to one of the classes among the human beings. So we see that. Here also in Ramayana, we see first the royals are described. What kind of, we saw that in Srikanji's lecture. What kind of cavalry is, what kind of elephants, all those things are following Bharata in his journey. And then we also saw many communities are following Bharata in his journey. And one more interesting thing is that they're all individually happy to follow Bharata. And they have come on their own interest. They did not come because they were instructed by someone to come. Bharata did not instruct everyone should come with me or else you'll all be beheaded. No, Bharata did not instruct anything like that. They have all come on their own interests. So we see that, and they are all happy on their following of Bharata. Then we also see that the communities mentioned here, about 5 to 6 shlokas, they're all based on the features and jobs the communities do. So we'll go to the topic. अग्रतः प्रयुस्तस्य सर्वे मन्त्रिपुरोधसः अधिरुह्य हयैर्युक्तान् रथान् सूर्यरथोपमान् नवनागसहस्राणि कल्पितानि यथाविधि अन्वयुर्भरतं यान्तम् इक्ष्वाकुकुलनन्दनं षष्ठीरथसहस्राणि धन्विनो विविधायुधाः अन्वयुर्भरतं यान्तं राजपुत्रं यशस्विनं शतं सहस्राण्यश्वानां समारूढानि राघवम् अन्वयुर्भरतं यान्तं सत्यसन्धं जितेन्द्रियम्. So these are the royals described. What kind of if suppose if a king is going somewhere, these kind of protection is needed for the king. That kind of things, that kind of royal things are described in these shlokas, almost 4 shlokas. And for the artha, we see that Navanaga Sahasrani Kalpitani Yathavidhi. Naga means elephants, so 9,000 elephants. Shashti Ratha Sahasrani, 60,000 chariots. And then Shatam Sahasrani Ashwanam. He doesn't know how to count the cavalries. So 100,000 cavalries. Okay, so this is what is mentioned as royals. This kind of protection given to a king is normal, but we also see that these royals were also happy to follow Bharata. They are wanting to follow Bharata. They are needing to follow Bharata. So they are not just coming because we need to protect Bharata, so we have to come. How would you know that? We know that because Bharata leaves all of them behind. He takes Shatrughna with him and he goes to Chitrakuta to see Rama. In Bharadwaja Atityam, after Bharadwaja, we see this part. He is not able to walk slowly with the other people anymore. He wants to run forward. So without any worry about the protection or protection a king has to have, he is coming with Shatrughna alone. So we see that, of course, Sumantra and Vasishta follow him, but only 4 of them are here, not that kind of warriors who are following him. So we see that. Next, the community is described. Manikarascha ye kechit kumbhakarascha shobhanaha सूत्रकर्मकृतश्चैव ये च शस्त्रोपजीविनः मायूरकाः क्राकचिकाः रोचकाः वेधकास्तथा दन्तकाराः सुधाकाराः तथा गन्धोपजीविनः सुवर्णकाराः प्रख्याताः तथा कम्बलधावकाः स्नापकोष्णोदका वैद्याः धूपका शौण्डिकास्तथा रजकास्तुन्नवायाश्च ग्रामघोषमहत्तराः शैलूषाश्च सहस्त्रीभिः ययुर्कैवर्तकास्तथा समाहिताः वेदविदः ब्राह्मणाः वृत्तसम्मताः गोरथैः भरतं यान्तम् अनुजग्मुः सहस्रशः. These are 83rd Sarga, I think from 8th shloka, 8th to 11th, 5 shlokas. So we see this. Here, many communities are mentioned here. I don't wish to give a repetition because this was already told few days before. So these communities that are mentioned here are based on the works, based on the jobs they follow. Manikarashcha means merchants who make jewelry. Then Kumbhakarashcha, the potters, the skilled potters who work with pots, who make pots. Like that, these then Sutrakarmakritaha, then Shastropajivinaha. Shastropajivinaha means those who make arms, those who make the shastras. Then Mayurakaha, those who do their jobs with the feathers of the peacock. Like that, various jobs, various communities here are mentioned based on their features or the jobs they do, the jobs they have taken up. So, like this, we keep on seeing here, then Suvarnakaraha, then Kambaladhavakaha, Snapakoshnathakaha, Vaidyaha, Dhupakaha, Shaundikaha. Then we see that continuously. And at last, here, Appa mentions this particular place to show that everyone here is equal. Grama Ghosha Mahattaraha. The people, the Periorgal, the Periyavals, the elders in the Grama Ghoshas, in the villages. So we see this in these shlokas. So mentioning particularly about this shloka, this is a uniqueness of these shlokas, that all of them are following Bharata individually on their own interests, and they're also happy to follow Bharata. Parishvajanaschanyonyam yayuhu nagarika janaha. They happily hug each other and they wish to see Rama. On that excitement, they are following Bharata. We see this in the same chapter, in the same sarga. This is also mentioned by Valmiki. So, till now, we were seeing about this. Now, as I said before, Ramayana, pre Ramayana, and post Ramayana. We'll go to pre Ramayana. How communities are mentioned in pre Ramayana and how communities are mentioned in post Ramayana. Like Srinidhi mentioned before the lecture, she was mentioning about how all communities come together and how all of them are equal. We are going to see what all communities are mentioned. So, in the Taittiriya Samhita, we all know these mantras, which are popularly known as Rudram or Chamakam. This Taittiriya Samhita mantras, salutations to pot makers, um, salutations to chariot makers, salutations to these communities, salutations to those communities. We see all these communities mentioned and salutations to all of them. So, seeing one God in all of them is also mentioned in these mantras, particularly. So, we see that these mantras have one thing common. That is, we see that one Rudra in all of these communities, and therefore salutation to all of these communities. Salutation to all of these jobs, because all of these jobs are needed for a basic society to live. For a societal well being, we need someone who makes pots. We need someone who makes who makes arms. We need someone who takes care of the takes care of the villages. We need elders. Like that, we keep seeing many communities, and their basic need in the society is very important. So, so what? So, salutations to all of them, because they're all needed in the society. This is what we see in pre-Ramayanic Vedic society. In the Vedic society, as Appa mentioned in 7 to 8 lecture, all of the communities are equal. There is no prejudice amongst communities, as mentioned in Vedamaya Passion from 7th chapter to 8th chapter. Here, we also see that there are layers of prejudice that Appa mentions here. First, prejudice against communities, then prejudice against human races, like races. Humans are superior than others. Then, prejudice against gender. All these prejudices are mentioned. Here, we also see that none of these prejudices are there in Veda, and none of them are there in Ramayana too. Here also we see the same thing, that none of them have the prejudice based mindset while following Bharata. They're all happily following Bharata in the same ladder. So this is what we see. Then post Ramayana. So post Ramayana, first we see not just from one community. For example, I have taken five, but we all know that there are more examples to this. So we'll start from Tamil. We know Tamil, in Tamil, there was a writer who wrote Ramayanam fully, as mentioned by Jatayuji before, Kambar. So he was in 9th century, he was a weaver. Then we see that they're all not from one community, right? So next, we see Balram Das from Jagmohan Ramayana. Balram Das, Odyssey. He was a farmer from 15th century. He also wrote Ramayana for about 1 lakh shlokas, 1 lakh verses. Then we see Eഴുத்தச்சன். Eഴുத்தச்சன், as mentioned by Hari Krishnan ji before, um, he was mentioning about Eഴുத்தச்சன்'s Ramayana, Kilipattu Ramayana, when he was talking about Malayalam. He was in the 16th centuries. He was from the fishermen's community. Then Telugu Ramayana, Ranganath Ramayana. This was written by Buddhagonna Reddy. Buddhagonna Reddy Garu was a warrior. He was the commander-in-chief of Rudramadevi. He was from the 13th century. Then Champu Ramayana. Champu Ramayana by Bojaraja, Bojakavi. He was a king. He was from BC. So these are few examples from the Ramayana writers, that we see that Ramayana's writers have not emerged only from one community. Next, we are seeing that not only from one religion. Again, this is just few examples, few set of examples that we are seeing. First, Buddhism. From Buddhism, we see Buddha himself, the primary source of Buddhism. Buddha himself, primary source of Buddhism, Tripitaka. In Tripitaka, there's a mention of Rama. There's the mention of the whole story of Rama, which is being narrated by Buddha himself. Then in Sikhism, which was a part of Hinduism before, now being separated, Sikhism, Guru Gobind Singh, his Ramavatara Charitam, he has written the whole Ramayana. Then the Indonesian Ramayana by the Indonesian Muslims, the Kakavin Ramayana, that is being followed till today. It's not a book written by someone, but it's a drama which has been carried on from a long time. It has been carried on. So they still do these Ramayana dramas in Indonesia. Next, we see not only from one region. We have seen this, we have heard this from Appa's lecture a lot of times. We have heard that have been many Ramayana writers, authors of Ramayana from a varied region along India, outside India. We see everything. So, here to mention a few, we'll start from Kambar himself. In Tamil, Kambar Ramayanam, which was in 9th century, as mentioned before. Then Ranganath Ramayanam, Telugu. Then we see Saptakanda Ramayanam, that is written by Madhava Kandali, Assamese Ramayana, 13th century. Then Jagmohan Ramayana. Jagmohan Ramayana, written by Balram Das, as mentioned before, 15th century. Then Kritibas Ramayana. Kritibas Ramayana is a Bengali Ramayana. It is written by Kritibas in 15th century. Then Torave Ramayana, written by Narahari in 16th century, Kannada Ramayana. Then Eഴുத்தச்சன்'s Kilipattu Ramayana, 16th century. Sri Ramacharita by Tulsidas, that is also 16th century, written in Awadhi. Then we also see, not here in the slide, Molla Ramayana in Telugu. She is also 15th century. Then we continue to see Bhavartha Ramayana, 16th century, Marathi, written by Eknatha. Then we see Girdhar Ramayana, written by Girdhar in Gujarati, 19th century. Then Kashur Ramayana, written in Kashmiri by Prakashram Kurigami in 19th century. Then Maithili Ramayana, written in Maithili language, like Appa mentioned before, the sweetest language, by Shri Chandaja of 19th century. Then Mapilla Ramayana of Mapilla Muslims, that is, who live in Kerala. Those Muslims have also, like Indonesian Ramayana, they don't have a book. It is a Ramayana drama that they have been following from a big generation. Then we see Indonesian Ramayana, as mentioned before, Kakawin Ramayana. Then at last, Kramakian by Thailand. And this Ramayana's one uniqueness is that this Ramayana was compiled by King Rama I. So this Ramayana was written by the king himself. So this Ramayana, as we actually traveled to Thailand before few months, we went to the Grand Palace where the Ramakian paintings. Ramakian means story of Rama. So the paintings of the story, um, fully from including the minute details, all the minute details, the macro details, everything has been painted on the walls of the Grand Palace. They have been maintaining also. Not that they just only painted it. Okay, all the minute details are painted, macro details are painted, the Rama story is painted. Okay, done. Not like that. They have been taking care that the painting has not gone. The painting, because it's been long time since the painting has been painted, the painting should not get scratched, it should not get spoiled. They have taken care in such a way that any spoil in one day, they'll repaint it daily. So they are workers for that, who repaint on based on the previous painting that was there. They just repaint it, and with those minute and macro details, they repaint it almost daily in the Grand Palace. So we see this Ramakian. This is also even though in a form of a book, it is also in the form of a drama. It is mainly in a form of drama. It is a made drama by the Thailand people there, Thai people there. So we see that in Ramayana writers, we pass with this examples of Ramayana writers. Next, we continue. Post Ramayana, we are seeing post Ramayana. Till now, we were seeing Ramayana authors in post Ramayana. Now we will just see a few granthas which mention about few bhaktas. Um, Periya Puranam or Bhaktamal or Bhakta Vijayam. Periya Puranam is a Shaivite text and the others are Vaishnavite texts. Um, those texts are also talking about few bhaktas. Many bhaktas are mentioned in which few are taken as examples on the time constraint we have. So first Kannappa Nayanar, then Appar, then Sundaramurti Nayanar, then Kora Kumar, Ravidas, Sena, Chokamela. We see all these people. We have heard of all these people before. We have heard of all these people's stories before. So starting from Kannappa Nayanar again. Kannappa Nayanar is a hunter. Then Appar is a Velalar. Sundaramurti Nayanar is an Adi Shaivar. Kora Kumar is a pot maker. Ravidas is a cobbler. Sena is a barber. And Choka Mela is a carpenter. So we see all these different communities which are there in these kind of texts also mentioned after post Ramayana. And we also not only see this, we also see that in the history of India, the history we see after Ramayana, after the ancient texts, which the history starts from Chandragupta Maurya, we see that many kings who have made kings, who have been made kings, are not only from the Kshatriya clan. We also see that few people, shepherds, we see. Then we see Gramagosha Mahattaraha, the elders from the Gramas. Those kind of Rajas who have been made Chhatrapatis, we have seen them also in the history that follows Ramayana and Mahabharata. From Chandragupta Maurya himself, he himself is a shepherd. Then Harihara Bukkaraya, they are also shepherds who were crowned later as Vijayanagara Samrajya. Then we see Chhatrapati Shahaji Raje Bhosle. Shahaji Raje Bhosle, then Chhatrapati Shivaji Raje Bhosle. They are Grama Gosha Mahattara, as mentioned before. They are elders, Tahsildars in a village. We see all these things that follow post Ramayana. In the history also, we see this only till today. Till today, the Prime Minister of today, Prime Minister of India, till today, we see that um, they are not only from one community. And proudly to mention, as mentioned by Srinidhi ji before, the tribal king Guha. Today, our Indian President Draupadi Murmu is also a tribal queen, you can say. Then, our Prime Minister Narendra Modi, we all know who he was and who he is, which community he is from. Thus, we can proudly mention that today also we are following the same equanimity from Ramayana, which we have been seeing before. So, coming back to Ramayana itself, so to the previous slides, as we were seeing those five shlokas, here I would like to mention a shloka from Bhagavad Gita, a half shloka from Bhagavad Gita. Gunakarma Vibhagashaha. So, Gunakarma Vibhagashaha, the communities are classified based on the features, guna features, and karma jobs they do. So we are saying this again, like I mentioned before itself. Here, the communities are based on the jobs they do. Coming back to this, already as mentioned before, here we see these five shlokas. In the arthas of these five shlokas, we can find out that these five shlokas are based on the jobs the people do in that community. So again, from Manikarascha, Manikaraha, merchants, then Kumbhakarascha, the pot makers, skilled pot makers, Appa translates. Then Shobhana, Sutra Karma Kritaha, go to Appa's translation. The lapidaries, and then those who live, Shastropajivinaha, those who live by manufacture of arms, then carpenters, then those who make, those who live Mayurakaha, those who live by doing things with feathers of peacock. Then we also see sawyers, workers who make artificial Suvarnakaraha, artificial ornaments. Then those who pierce gems and pearls, those who make articles of ivory, then those who live by perfumery, highly reputed goldsmiths, weavers of blankets, and other workers. Like this, we keep seeing the many things that are described here. Kambaladhavakaha, those who are living by weaving blankets. Then Vaidyaha, those who are doctors. Dhupakaha, Shandikaha, tatha. Then those who live by fumigators, Dhupakaha. Like this, we see again the mention here. Why am I bringing this again and giving each and every word's artha? Is because here every the communities are not classified birth based, rather it's classified based on the jobs they have taken up, based on the jobs they are doing today. So um, let's take Kumpakarashcha. For example, the skilled potters who are there, the potters are those who we still see today, those who make the pots, the different shaped, the different sized pots, like those pot makers. They are pot makers not because their fathers were pot makers, because they're pot makers. They wanted to become pot makers. So, this is why I brought this up again. So, we see that here again, how do you say that they were not birth based? They were just because job based? Because I would tell that that is because if they are birth based, suppose Kumbhakara is there, a pot maker is there, you can name him in some other name. Probably today as it has become dogmatic, Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya, and Shudra, like that. As dogmatic as that, we can see Kumbhakara can be named something like that. Probably it can be a Vaishya. W- Take suppose Kumbhakara is a Vaishya, then he could have just easily mentioned that all of them as Vaishyas. And connected to Vedic era, common people are Vaishyas. So we all know Vit Dhatu, Vish Dhatu, Vaishya means common people. So common people here are Vaishyas, then all of the people who are mentioned here, except for the last shloka probably, are all Vaishyas. Then Samahitaha, Vedavitaha, Brahmanaha. There itself, he himself is telling Brahmanaha. So they are Brahmanas. Others are Vaishyas. He could just tell that and go. That is probably two shlokas that could describe the whole communities. But here, Valmiki takes into his attention each and every job, each and every community that has been classified based on the job, and he takes it into attention for almost four shlokas in the epic. Like Appa mentions, Kavya, Here, Kavya means that it has only one aim. In that one aimed Kavya, that one aim is Rama's gunas. Here, why should he mention each and every community of the Ayodhya, who are following Bharata? He has no need to mention that. Why is he mentioning all these jobs? That is because he wants to mention everything, because he wants to also show that that is what we see here. That is what is easily mentioned by Appa as Rama belongs to all classes. That is what he wants to show here, that Rama has been, even though he is from the warriors clan, he is from the Raja, he has also been working with all of the communities that have been mentioned. Um, that is why all these communities are happily following Bharata to bring back Rama. Or else there is no need for a happiness to be found there. They can just go reactionless, emotionless. Go, okay, Bharata is going. Okay, we'll also go. There's something going on the Raja family. If it is Bharata or Rama, anyone becomes king, we don't have any problem. They can be like that. But rather than being like that, here we see that every Ayodhyan feels their connection with Rama, like mentioned by Maithili ji before in her lecture. She was mentioning about how Ayodhya was in the separation of Rama as soon as Rama left Ayodhya. That in that place also, Ramayana Valmiki is describing about 1 to 2 sargas. Um, the mother who has birthed her first child is not happy. Then the elephants are not taking their foods. They are pushing out their foods. The cows are not milking their calves. Like this, it is mentioned about 2 sargas. Why is he mentioning all this? Why is he mentioning all this sorrow? It is all mentioned to just show that Rama is connected with every community which is there in Ayodhya. Not only Ayodhya, we are also seeing that later in Ramayana. In particularly since we are taking Ayodhya, I'm particularly mentioning Ayodhya. In Ayodhya, particularly, all communities are have an individual connection with Rama. Like here also, Appa often expresses this. What is the connection between you and Rama? You know that. What is the connection between that ant and Rama? That ant knows that. So, the connection between you and Rama is no different from that ant and Rama. So, you and the ant are same. So, what does that mean? So, Rama has individual connection with each and every community, means that each and every community is the same to Rama, and while they feel the connection with Rama, they feel that they are all equals. So, that is what we see in Ayodhya Kanda again. Sarvesham hi dharmatma varnanam kurute dayam chaturnam hi vayasthanam tena tetam anuvrataha. We see the shloka, we all know the shloka. Rama, while coming in the Rajaviti, this shloka is described. Rama is Rama has that connection with each and every Chaturnam hi Vayasthanam, with all the 4 communities mentioned here. He is coming like that in the Rajaviti, and there each and every one feels that divine connection with Rama, the divine divinity with Rama. They also feel that Rama is some relative of them. Swajanasya cha rakshita. I am of Rama. I am somehow related to Rama. He can be my king. I can be his servant, or I can be his janata. I am connected with Rama. Like that, we see that divine connection between each and every community, each and every Ayodhyan, including Bharata with Rama, and that's how I would like to end my lecture. Sitaram.